And so it is 999999999 a.m. here in Los Angeles. Tuesday, the 9th of December, AD 2025. And don't believe anything that you hear, think, or see on the Hake report. All right? Or read. Seeing is reading, right? Or sense or interpret, all right? Because you don't know what I mean. Nor do I sometimes. Well, that's kind of bad. But so disclaimer, starting with a disclaimer. So relax, all right? But hello to the YouTube people. Hello to the punchy.tv people. And the Rumble crew. Age of Inversion says some truly legendary clips from our future president. And a competitor of mine named Morgan. It's funny, you don't think of him as a Morgan. Thank you for the tip there. I haven't seen any of them, but I did see that it happened. He's like, thanks for the great interview. Our future president did. Very nice. Okay, so sweet. I will read your super chats. Hopefully I am caught up with them, you know. Right on. And hello to the D Live crew, Potleaf, NRDJ, liking the stream. I didn't know you could like the stream on D Live. You can super chat via buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. And I'm on pill.net and other places. I am live on Facebook. What is up, Facebook crew? Hello to everybody. You know, I feel like, no, I think I'll save the Christmas music for towards the end of the show. It is Christmas time. At least it's, you know, December. It's less than 3 weeks away. Just over 2 weeks away, actually. Christmas is going to fall on a Thursday if you're not Armenian. Do the Armenians celebrate on a Thursday as well? January 6th is Armenian Christmas. Did you know? J6, Armenian Christmas. And then the evil people, the powers that be, subverted Armenian Christmas or Orthodox Christmas or whatever to be mess. To be, you know, the attack on the patriots of America. JLP had a January 6th patriot on the JLP show in the first hour today. That was fun. All right. Very loquacious, gregarious guy. Here, let me turn on my super chat goal there. Do. I don't have 2 hours, but nice. Okay, so we're gonna get going, if you so please. Wow, would you look at that? Beautiful desert scenery. That is called a desktop. Because that's not my thing. We're gonna get going here. Turn on the volume a little bit. And we shall get right on with the... Do you really want to hear this version? Show!
Have you been naughty or nice?
Obnoxious. Oh, Lord. Hey, guys! got time. So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I have my beautiful beach scenery here for you. Enjoy. Enjoy. Very nice. That's enough of that, right? Oh, Lord. How about this? Boom. That's better. So, I wanted to start right off with a call here today. I wonder why they do this. Okay. I'll have to ask them about that. Jaime in Minnesota is on the line here. Jaime, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
That's good. Hey, shout out to that Ocala guy, 60 years old, man.
David in Ocala. I looked it up, and he is Gen X. He is the oldest of the Gen X. You might confuse him with the youngest of the boomers. He might have grown up thinking he was a boomer. He might to this day think he's a boomer, but he is.
Yeah.
He definitely is distinctly Gen X, in my opinion. But he's kind of a
That's
boomerish
crazy.
Gen X. Nice.
That's crazy. He still owes on his mortgage.
Oh,
60 years old. Can you imagine?
I didn't pick up on that. I didn't catch that. But you have an
No,
ear
you-
for such things.
Yeah. So that's what the boomers taught.
Some people are late bloomers, you know. Isn't
Yeah,
that isn't that so true? So
It's
go ahead.
teaching from the boomer generation down to the Gen X generation down to the millennials.
Yeah. Oh,
And
no
that's
man
why-
money.
That's why we got the mess that we're in, is because of the older generations. They propagated too hard their ideas.
And their
But,
ideas were kick the can down the road, meaning put off till tomorrow what you can do today, procrastinate, owe money, and be in debt. That's what you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
And those ideas were too quick. The old ways, the better ways, was they didn't catch on. They didn't get taught in schools. They got ousted by the liberals or by whoever.
Yeah. Nice.
But hey, these Somalis, taking all that money, that's messed up.
Yeah, that is. Well, 87, except for 8 out of those 87, according to what somebody in some other chat said. And that's unconfirmed. I don't know. But yeah, they're. This is the problem with so many of these immigrant peoples, including some of my Hispanic friends. They're all about the hookup. The hookup, meaning get ill-gotten gain by way of whatever government or scammy thing. Terrible.
Yeah. And I was listening to Ilhan Omar giving a little talk, and she was saying, it's not all the Somali people, and a lot of them are good working people like us Minnesotans.
Uh-huh.
But I was
Why is she
I was
saying
listening
us?
to
Because she's not a good, hard-working person.
I was listening to, I believe it was Senator Kennedy, the the old guy that
I like that guy.
gives a lot of speeches in the House, I think.
Okay.
But he was breaking it down. He was breaking down the 3 scams that they ran, and one of them was an autism scam, where Somalis leaders or whoever would get money, and they would say that they're helping the autistic Somalis.
Exactly. That's the one that I heard about.
Well, Kennedy was breaking this down. I believe it was Kennedy. Correct me if I'm wrong on the senator.
John.
But he was breaking
Oops,
it.
I spit. John N. Kennedy is the senator from. Where's he from? He's 74 years old, Republican Party, senator from Mississippi.
Like Louisiana?
Mississippi, I
yeah.
believe. At least that's where
kind
he was
of a
born.
funny looking
No,
guy.
yeah, you're right. Louisiana since 2017. He was
He's a
born
funny
in
looking
Mississippi.
guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah, so do I.
But he was breaking it down on this autism scam, and so the people that were running the organization, they couldn't find anybody who was Somali and had autistic kids, so they bribed parents $400, $1,000 to sign their kids up as autistic.
Well, yeah, and they would
And
get like what? How much of a kickback would they get? Like $500 a month or
Well,
something like that? Do you
yeah, the
remember?
Kennedy guy was breaking down the numbers: 400, 1,000,
Yeah.
and they didn't have any white kids or Hispanic kids because they didn't bribe those people. So when this Ilhan Omar or somebody else, liberal white woman, says it's not all the Somalis, well, all the people that took the money were Somali.
Except
for this
except for
specific scam.
maybe like 8 people, if the person who gave that chat on the JLP show Rumble was correct. But yeah,
So
practically all of them.
that's bad.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot coming up. And it's nice out here in Minnesota. Governor Walz, he's got us a big old surplus of state money. Sometimes he sends us back state tax money. But where's that coming from? It's coming from suckers like you.
Yeah.
Paying federal taxes. And that's wrong.
Yeah.
That ain't Minnesotan.
That's right. You're a Minnesotan.
This is my idea on tax money. If you don't need it, if it isn't an emergency, don't use it. Leave it. Don't touch it.
Right.
Give it back. But this Ilhan Omar, who was saying like it's a Somali community, they got Minnesotan values like us. They grabbed the bag. They didn't need it.
Yeah.
They grabbed it.
Right.
That ain't Minnesotan.
And that's not honest. That's not white. It's not right.
And I'm sure there's one or two that are good, but they would have came in legally. But they're whatever, man.
Right.
It's not good.
There's always exceptions to the rule.
So it's a good thing that Trump got elected the second time, because this would have kept going. And
wow,
there were state workers that were calling it out, and and some people, but
crazy, man.
But I blame the boomers and the Gen X, and I'm very happy about our future president.
Yeah.
Before I did give some criticism, and it's just criticism. I like the guy.
Yeah.
I like that he is immune to the anti-Semitism label.
Yeah.
Because when I went to school, they taught about the Holocaust. They showed you the Schindler movie and that, and I always felt like, so what?
Right.
So what?
Right.
But then, as you get older, then you start seeing more news and more people of the Hebrew type using it,
right,
as a defense. And I always thought that was wrong. That just never sat well with me.
Of course.
Like, you can't criticize an actual bad person because they say they're Jewish and then automatically they're untouchable.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And I really like the future president about that he calls that out and he doesn't care about that. And, that interview that he did with that goofball was a good one.
Yeah, totally.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Thank you for the feedback. It's cool hearing from you, sir.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. You as well. Jaime in Minnesota. He's referring to the woman-hating podcaster. He doesn't seem like he hates women. Piers Morgan slams Nick Fuentes for calling Hitler and cool. What a crock of Holocaust denier. He's more of like a questioner. I don't know. Admits at least 6 million. Oh, here this is from the forward. Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes admits at least 6 million Jews were killed in Nazi Germany. So there you have it. Or appeared to acknowledge that at least that many were killed. All right. And he claimed the true genocide is against white Christians. Well, I mean, that's the That's definitely the dominant culture right now for the past my lifetime. Maybe not my whole lifetime, but maybe my whole lifetime. I just wasn't really aware of it during the Reagan years, because the Reagan years seemed like the whole world was Christian and loved everybody. Even Gorbachev. You know what I mean? What a mess. Shout out our future president. Thank you, Jaime, in Minnesota. I will get to more of your calls, y'all. I wanted to get back over here. And shout out to our future president. And I like Piers, actually. Morgan. He's silly. Goofball is a good word for him. Oh, let me peruse. Let me just make sure that I have YouTube Live pulled up so that I can check out the fan funding. If anybody wants to be supportive over there, you can be supportive wherever you like. Did you hear about someone shooting a few shots at, oh, thank you already. Somebody shot a few shots at another competitor's house, Tim Pool. He is a Chicago street video journalist, if you will. Just a liberal guy documenting the chaos in Chicago. And then I think he started interviewing like Proud Boys on the street and documenting their stuff. And it was kind of unbiased. And then he started his show, and he's really exploded and done really well for himself, and put a target on his back. And he got shot at over the weekend, or Friday, this past Friday or something like that. His studio got shot at. They fired somebody, allegedly, according to him, fired 3 shots at his studio, which is out in the boonies. That's not right, if true. I first heard about it from another JLP former guest. Not that Tim Pool was a former guest yet, but Styx Hexenhammer 666 was contrasting how people pretend, the liberal media pretends, the Hollywood and TV shows pretend, and everybody, the liberals, the normies, the politicians pretend like right-wingers are the snipers and bombers and terrorist threat people in our own land. Allegedly shot at. That's crazy, because when you look into it, the terrorists are all too often, aside from being Muslim, they try to cast Muslims as right-wing, which is ridiculous. Oftentimes they're like Antifa or communist. I have referenced many times the Uncle Tom guy, Chad O. Jackson, has been on the JLP show a couple of times. He even called into my show recently after that stabbing at the track meet. Said that guy, the black young man who allegedly stabbed and killed one of those twin brothers, the white twin brothers in Texas, he should go away for a long time, because we can't have this culture of you get away with it. Blacks and black Hispanics have killed whites and gotten away with it, basically. Probation for a guy punching out a guy who said the N-word, allegedly. And the guy, who was 70-something-year-old man, looked like he probably said the N-word at a Dunkin' Donuts in some other state back. To me, anything east of California is back east, all right? So I could be talking about Nevada, and I'm talking about back east, all right? So I'm not talking about back east necessarily, but at a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere back east, this guy punched him out. He said, "Don't say the N-word." And he said the N-word again, which you're not supposed to do that, but that's what you do when you're angry. is you say the N-word if the guy's black, especially, because you do something to try to spread your anger, and the guy takes it so seriously that he escalates it to a physical thing rather than just where physically hitting rather than just words. And they feel justified, and the whole culture justifies that. And the guy got, rather than getting like second-degree murder or he might have gotten manslaughter. He got probation, I think, if I remember correctly. They justify the blacks and the black former, maybe there was an Israelite, but mainly former Nation of Islam blacks, targeting the police, doing multiple shootings of police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in 2016, and then another one in like Dallas, Texas. These former Nation of Islam guys, angry blacks, brainwashed by the false Black Lives Matter narrative, which predates Black Lives Matter, by the way. Forget the police, forget the police. You know that rap song? It doesn't say forget. They've been justifying and casting communists and blacks and women and gays, LGBTs, and Jewish people and communists as soft women, nice, want to spread love, want to be anti-racist. They're fighting against hate, but when in reality, they are hate. They are hateful. They're filled with hate. And according to Chad O. Jackson, the communists were behind the bombing of the churches. You know, those church bombings that everybody says, oh, it was the KKK? Communists were behind a lot of those things. I don't know if the communists were trying to frame the KKK, because that's what blacks and gays and Jews oftentimes tend to do, is they call in a bomb threat on a synagogue, and it's this Jewish guy in like Israel. Or they paint a swastika, and it's the gay organist for this church painted a Nazi sign after Trump got elected, and it was him. Or these blacks at these colleges paint the N-word on the mirrors or walls, and then it was they themselves who did it. Or put a noose around their neck and pour bleach on themselves. And said, this is MAGA country in Chicago. Okay, juicy. Ridiculous. But they do the terrorism more often. Charlie Kirk assassination. They ignored the Republican, the Republican-based softball or congressional softball practice thing. These congressmen try to be athletic a little bit, get a little bit of exercise, to go out and play some softball. And this dumb, silly normie who listens to Rachel Maddow, middle-aged guy, he might have been white, but he was a liberal, shot up the congressional baseball game and nearly killed that normal guy, Steve Scalise. People try to call him racist. I wish they could call him racist, which is to say honest, not actually racist, because there's no such thing. But I wish you were more honest about that thing, about the fake idea of racism. Steve Scalise is just a normal rhino who's been there forever. I don't know if he's a rhino, but I'm just saying rhino for argument's sake. These people are just normal guys. Tim Pool's a normal guy. Charlie Kirk was a normal guy who's basically right, but he's popular, and popular people are hated by the left, if you will, and by the right. And so they're killing him. What a mess. I was watching this one show, and they have this guy listening, getting all up in arms to the on a radio show, and the radio show sounds like my late great competitor Rush Limbaugh in his voice. His voice literally sounds like Rush Limbaugh, but his words and outrageous stuff sounds like my other competitor who is still alive, but he's $1 billion indebted to the so-called Sandy Hook victims or families, so-called families, liberals. They made him sound like Alex Jones, and this guy is like a crazy terrorist, all smart and kidnapping and bomb threatening and all kinds of stuff. And there was another show where they also acted like an Alex Jones-esque guy, was the bad guy, making other people be crazy. Granted, there's crazy people on many sides. Crazy people everywhere. Everywhere. But the crazy people who do the terrorism tend to be the liberals. What a mess. So shout out, wishing you well. Beautiful, beautiful Tim Pool. I'm chuckling because calling him beautiful. So that's the little rant about the fake news about conservatives being the terrorists. Now, yes, I know, sometimes they do the terrorism. Sometimes they do the terrorism. You can find, like, once every few years, a conservative will do a terrorism. And everybody remembers those, but nobody remembers the liberal terrorism. Memory hold, they call it. The liberal media will act like, oh, no. What? Crazy. It's just casting the conservatives as the bad actors, bad guys. Terrible. Is there anything else? He's going off, by the way, on the division. You know, losers get divided. After Trump lost, there was a big division, 2020 through blah, blah, blah. After the Charlottesville riots that broke up the so-called alt-right, the pro-white people, the American people, the pro-American people, they really got divided and started hating each other and blaming each other and calling each other feds. Some of them had to make deals because they got in trouble with the law. Amador basically died over it because Amador was there, our resident historian. He died because he was in hiding, I think, from what I understand, from a bench warrant because they were trying to sue him over something that somebody else did. Isn't that evil? What a mess. Losers, and so they were losing. So losers become conspiracy theorists, divided, and that's what's happening right now because everybody's a loser. Terrible. Like Trump said when he said the 2 Corinthians, right? We should unify on what you can. Pardon me, it's not itching my nose, I'm scratching my nose. But I'm not scratching it. Anyway, I'm rubbing it because it itches slightly. But it's clear. I'm not plugged up, I'm not sick. What's up, Pilled Admin? Good morning to you. The Patriots over at pilled.net. Did you know Hake is on pilled.net? Good morning to Jim in Alaska, Nicole over on punchy.tv. Let me just peruse over here. What's up, my dad? Viswanathan, age of inversion. It wasn't only a bench warrant. They were trying to jail the guy. I'm chuckling because of the this is MAGA country. No nagging. What's up, Kevin Howe? Yeah, I'm wearing my Flat Earth shirt, but I am a ball-tard, okay? Just saying hello to the chat, the people in the chat. I'm going to get back to your calls here. Just want to say hi, and while I'm reading your chats, I may as well read your super chat. Actually, let me do this. Let me show it. Oh, lordy. Oh, nice. Walking Roscoe helped me meet my goal. Thank you, sir. Hey, Jim. Calling me Jim. I didn't really know what to think at first about our future president. I call him. He totally reminds me of Trump. But after watching that interview from your competitor, Pierce, and he spells it Pierce like he was pierced for our transgressions, Jesus. Morgan, I'm starting to appreciate Fuentes that much more. Right on, Walking Roscoe. Yeah. Don't be fooled by caricatures, and this happens to me a lot, or maybe even to this day. It has. Don't be fooled by caricatures. Joe Arpaio. I was fooled by the caricature of this man, law enforcement officer and former Maricopa County sheriff. They were casting him as this older, fat, white man. Rest in peace to Ava Arpaio. He outlived his wife. He's 93 years old. A real man, Joseph Michael Arpaio. Sheriff of Maricopa County, Arizona for 24 years, 1993 to 2017, losing the re-election to Democrat Paul Pinzon in 2016, and that was a loss for Maricopa County. That was a loss. And he said Trump is his hero. Arizona SB 1070, very nice. SB 1070 was allowing Arizona cops, because they have a big illegal alien problem, to stop and ask for your papers. Show me your papers. Something to that effect. And the feds, the feds are notoriously awful at protecting the states from the illegal alien invaders, if you will, or overrunners. You could say they're overrun with illegals. Shout out. But that's a solid guy, and he was caricatured in the news, much like many a people, including Nick Fuentes, and they are, don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't fall for interpretation and judgment and stuff. And don't fall for how the followers are, because his followers are off the deep end, but he is fine. And then I'm sure there's some very upstanding followers. I've met some of them over the years. And people come and go, People really come and go. They turn on you. He's had people turn on him. And he's maybe turned on people, who knows? He is human, bro. Shout out John Kennedy. Nice. Very nice. Let me just double check. While I'm here reading the super chats, it looks like I'm caught up on things. Thank you, Priscilla from Houston. Have a coffee, Hake. It's cold outside. Have a nice day. She said that yesterday. Yesterday was supposed to be 78. Guess what? Today's supposed to be 82. It's pretty chilly, though, in the early mornings. Supposedly it was 55 this morning, or 55 was low. Today's low. It felt a little colder than that. No, it was okay, actually. Because when it's below 50, that's when I have to start putting on gloves. And my hands are like cold driving to work and stuff. I'm tough, though. My hands are never cold. Never too cold to function. All right. Let me get back to the calls here, if you don't mind. William III out of California on the line here. William, thank you for calling, sir. What's up?
Hey, James, how you doing?
Doing fine.
I was thinking about something that you were talking about earlier. David would be the oldest Gen X. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, since he was born in probably 64, 65. Yeah, I just thought about that because I was born in 60, so he would be the oldest Gen X.
Nice.
That would make me the youngest boomer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which probably has a lot to do with my thinking.
Right.
Because between David's age and my age is the last group that had complete families with generational wealth.
Okay.
Those numbers went down as the years passed,
Yeah.
because, you know, guys like David and me, we dated pretty much the youngest boomers and oldest Gen X women.
Yeah.
And in that process, a lot of the Oprah Winfrey madness started in the early 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I mean? And, you know, if you're, how come he's not married? I didn't marry because of that, because every woman that I dated, all of them that I went to school with and dated, they were all raging liberals. And they were in the process.
What was the madness of Oprah Winfrey and her followers in the 80s? What was that?
Kicking men in the crap in the keister. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Blaming men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
And it seems like she was obsessed with it too. She was starting to get, because they got on her about it, you know, she was starting to get a little bit too many guests that were abused because she was abused.
Oh.
And,
yeah.
as you know, hurt people usually hurt people.
Yep. Victims.
And,
victims are perpetrators.
Right. So a lot of women I dated over the years, and the reason I stayed a bachelor is because, one, I didn't know as much as I do now, of course. No way, you know.
Yep.
But it was just nothing to, you know, we had a lot of partying in the 80s and, you know, nightclub, Waffle House, hotel, or their place. And if it's their place, I'll drink their little snotty-nosed kid, and I'll drink their Capricin and put my boxers on and leave. And that became a cycle where I refused to, you know, cave into that, because a lot of men my age, and I tell my nephews this, and I tell any young man this, never, ever, ever move into a woman's home.
Good advice.
You have her move in your home.
Yeah.
You get it?
Right.
Because see, a lot of people,
you know, there's so many different tricky ways in which men give money and power to women.
And
power over their own lives. It's so evil. So many different ways to do it too, because you think I'm covering my bases, and meanwhile you're just not aware that you're totally giving yourself over or whatever, or things over to them.
Yeah, because
terrible.
Most of the women that I knew, because like I'm slowed down. I have a woman now, but she's not living with me because we're not married. She has her own home.
Nice.
I have mine.
Right.
The thing that a lot of my friends got caught up with, as you know, this is the same time as all of that fraud started with the Section 8, the PPP loans, the food stamp scandals. This is not something that's new. This stuff was back then, and they were, you know, a lot of my friends that I went to school with, some of them got caught up. You know, they moved in these women's subsidy homes, and they couldn't hang their clothes in there because if the inspector came, they would, you know, raise her rent or whatever. You know, a lot of people were playing the game. I'm glad I stayed out of that.
Right on.
You know.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to apologize for it either, because it's a blessing that I stayed away from that, because most of the women I knew had children of another man, and William just refused to cave to that because didn't see my parents do that, you know.
Yeah.
And most of them actually Gen X women between 65 and, I wouldn't say so much 60 to 65, but I'd say 65 up. A lot of those women, even if they had a man, he's usually not the father of the woman's children.
Yeah. Man, what a mess. And that's so common now. People don't even realize there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, don't you think you're a simp if you move in a woman's home? I don't care what it is, apartment,
it is.
Home. Yeah, you move her in your place.
Or have her drive and all that stuff. And now the guys are just so like drunk and lazy and trifling, they won't drive.
But that's the guy. Yeah, that one too. That's the guy. That's the guy that you will see, like any editorial video, podcast, anything. They'll show couples. That's the guy that has the woman up front and she's doing all the talking. He's sitting in the background.
Yeah, I mean nowadays women talk so much, you know, and men are more reserved, sort of naturally. And that's not even necessarily a fear/shyness thing. It's just that there's not much to say, really. But then you start to think, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't have anything to say.
Right.
And in reality, there's something wrong with her. She talks too much, and you need to calm her down.
Right. My father had a lot of sisters, and which gave him a lot of brother-in-laws.
Yeah.
And my mother used to laugh at him about his brother-in-laws. He always called them a bunch of punks because they were strong. My aunts were all strong-willed, talkative women that were bossy, and they ran everything. And he didn't, you know what I mean? He didn't mistreat them, but his opinion behind closed doors of all 6 of his brother-in-laws, he told my mother, he says, they're all punks.
Yeah.
They're all punks. He says, my 2 sons are more men than these guys. They listen to their wife. No, I mean, seriously, when you see a woman doing all the talking and she's up front, that's going to be a weak man.
They do that on commercials all the time because commercials nowadays, they just target women, and women hate men, and these commercial people really hate men worse than the normal women, I think. And so the advertisers are just clowning on men and whites and everything. It's so ridiculous, too.
Right. And shout out to Jaime. I forgot he is in Minnesota up there with all that stuff going on and that fraud and everything. Tell him to keep us posted on what's going on because I think the walls are closing in on Omar. Because I mean, she will win her seat because 80% of the people of her constituents are Somalian.
Wow.
She will win her seat, but they got to put pressure on her another kind of way. And Trump he's going to work at it. He's trying to do it and everything. Prices have been going down at the grocery stores. Of course, we still have the highest gas because Gavin closed down 3 of our refineries here in California. But I've noticed prices on groceries have went down. Gas has went down a little bit, but not as much as other parts of the country. So Trump is doing a good job, I think. I mean, it's just that he got a victory with the Supreme Court on the birthright citizenship, and they're going to be leaning his way so that they could kind of halfway straighten out this. Yeah, hopefully straighten out this immigration system.
Yeah.
And I heard you talking about John Kennedy. I really like him.
Me too.
I like him too.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking, James. I don't know how you feel about this. I was thinking that maybe he should put his hat in for 28.
Interesting. How old is he? Is he 74?
74?
So he could run at 78. He'd be kind of Trump's age because Trump is 78 now, right? Interesting.
And he's a sharp 70. Listen, he's a sharp 70. What is he, 74?
74, yep.
He's a very sharp 74-year-old.
Yeah, I would say so too.
I really wouldn't mind seeing him putting his hat in,
Interesting.
But Jaime, keep us posted on the Minnesota thing because Trump is trying to do his thing, and the economy is slowly getting better. The tariffs have worked. We've gotten billions of dollars coming back to America. I think all of about 9 or 10 manufacturers of cars, Ford, Chevy, are coming back. I think 3 of them they got from Canada and bringing them back. Plus, they got Crown Royal, and they brought all that back to, Canada. That Crown Royal is their product, but they've closed the warehouse and brought it here.
Wow.
So Trump is doing pretty good, and is looking pretty good for the younger generation to go out and get career jobs instead of Walmart and Dollar General, and keep them from living in towns that have food deserts. That's another thing. The health of our children is not good. It's not good. They're kind of overweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
How
on.
you doing?
Doing well. It's good to hear from you, William. I appreciate
you. You too, man. You take care. All right.
Take care. Very cool. Let me get to Art in Ohio, who's on the line over here. Art, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Doing well as well. Thank you, sir.
Man, Hake. First things first.
Are you come close to your phone so you come through nice and up front.
How that sound? It sound a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was watching YouTube and I heard about one of your competitors talking about retiring because security is costing him too much.
Yeah. not full blown retiring, but ending the show where he's having the major security concerns. Yeah, I watched part of that video in which he was talking about that. Actually,
yeah. Well, retiring is retiring or whatnot. You know, you can say whatever you want to say, but the writing is on the wall. But I'm just kind of confused because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, did he think that by him retiring him is going to make him it's going to take him off the radar? You still going to be getting, the loony left is still going to be trying to get at you, buddy.
Right, that's true.
Where are you going? You just basically, why would you go put yourself and hide yourself in a corner to where you ain't easily able to be seen? You making yourself so if somebody do something to you, it's gonna be hidden. If you were smart, you would keep yourself in the eye's view, so it would keep people away from wanting to do it. Because particularly, most people ain't gonna do nothing if they know that you being watched. Now you got a couple handfuls of crazy that they don't care who watching. If you in front of a police station or not, they gonna do what they gonna do regardless. But I feel like he basically just ended his career.
I mean, we'll see what he ends up deciding on doing. He floated that idea. I don't know if he's going to go through with that idea. The way that he described it is that he's operating at a major loss because he has to spend millions maybe in security in order to like protect his employees. And so imagine if you're running a show and you're getting $1 million a year from the show, but it costs you $2 million just to pay for security. It doesn't make sense to run that show anymore. So I think what he's going to do is go into hiding and make the right. By going to hiding, I mean broadcast from a totally undisclosed location.
The damage has been done because people like me, I see you sending cake signals, and when I say
what's cake signal?
You looking real sweet. You see what I'm saying?
That's how somebody else I was listening to talk about it too, calling him beta for quitting over security.
Oh yes, man, he don't jump in that water, and I see the fear. I smell blood, and yes, he's definitely scared. But my thing is this, man. This ain't no different than that police chief down there in D.C. All that what's that virtue signal or what? Same way I call her out. If she wasn't prepared, if she couldn't do that job, then she don't need to have that job. If Tim Pool can't defend himself, and he need to have tons of so he got to have tons of security, like he the Secret Service, or he bigger than you don't need to be doing this, man. Let alone in the time that we in or whatnot. That just shows you where the mind of the American people is, to where they falling behind beta males or whatnot, and we don't need no beta males on this side. Especially, I can't listen to you no more. Because if I listen to you, you're going to make me soft like you. I got to be talking and being around people that is straight, they masculine. They ain't scared of no stuff like that, man. You don't get, somebody took one little pop shot off at you and you ready to go. Tuck your tail and hide up under a rock and you acting like that? Oh, no, man. He ain't no Republican. That's what I be saying when I be saying about you got a lot of these fake conservatives and stuff, man. Don't no Republicans be moving like that, man.
I don't know, man. I think I have a lot of respect for that guy. He used to go out on the street and document stuff, and I feel like he's been assaulted and things on the street by protesters, and he's been willing to face the heat. But if you think about the fact that that there was a man or somebody assassinated Charlie Kirk, who had a decent security team, probably made more money than Tim Pool, and you're concerned about not just your own life, but he mentioned his wife and kid, and he mentioned his staff. You're responsible for more than just yourself. I understand his position, and he he has way more of a spotlight on him than normal people like us. So I'm definitely not judging him. You may be right. There may be a hint of fear, and there's definitely anger in him. He's ticked, and I understand that too. I'm not judging him, man. You can judge him, but I'm.
Well, I mean, you don't have to judge him or whatnot. I'm just telling you what I see or whatnot, and the math ain't mathing, and it just don't sound right or whatnot. And just like I said,
it might be. It might be. I don't want to speculate. I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to talk about. I don't know anything about his wife, but a lot of times men listen to their wives, and.
Well, that's true enough too. But where did you think this was going to?
Yeah.
Where do you?
It's
we
getting
don't.
Bad. Civil War type stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, we have been. Well, people like me, I've been screaming until the sun come up about the liberals or whatnot, and all this stuff that's going on. And even I was saying it years ago on Jesse Lee Peterson's show. 8-9 years ago, however long ago that it was set up for a civil war. So what did you think was going to happen when Trump and all this stuff, when we started reversing all this stuff? You didn't think that the liberals and the lefties and the people that's in the middle or whatnot, you ain't think they was going to turn up the heat when you start interfering with their money, firing all them federal workers, going against all their progressive programs? What did you think they was going to do?
It's crazy. They are murderously hateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean.
And like, imagine if Trump were like, "Oh, I gotta protect my wife and kid."
Trump would probably do the same thing as him too. Go ahead.
Trump is not quitting to protect his wife and kid. You know.
Well, you say that when he got a lot of security. Everybody talk all that when they got a whole bunch of security.
I know, but they broke through the security. They were able to take a shot at him. One guy took a shot at him.
What I'm saying is, I feel like Trump would have did the same thing that Poole is doing.
Why are you saying that?
I'm just, I mean, because a lot of people, they talk real good, but when the heat turned on, this ain't nothing with this Tim Poole thing. This is just exposing a lot of how a lot of men are not men. I don't understand how you and your cast need security. If y'all don't know how to cock, lock, and pop your own stuff, man, you just don't need to be on YouTube, man.
I think he said they are all armed, so they know how to protect themselves too. But it's crazy, man. I mean, look at what they did to Charlie Kirk. That's insane.
It ain't that. I mean, so what do we need security for? To come in and out the building? What do you need security for? To follow you home? All that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he said that he has to have a security guy stand outside his stall while he's using the restroom.
Well, listen.
Imagine that. Wouldn't you get like stage fright?
Man, listen. Just like I said, bro. If you gotta have all that security or whatnot, man, listen here, bro. You might as well go ahead and give it up. But yeah, I can't understand it or whatnot for the life of me, bro. How people are running around like, oh man, bro.
What makes you think that Trump is girly and scared and a coward?
I ain't saying he's girly and he's scared. That's not what I'm saying.
But you said that you would do what Tim Poole is doing, and you're detecting something sweet and sissified in Tim Poole. So it sounds like you put Trump in the same basket.
Well, but I'm saying because I don't see the toughest of them, the biggest and the tough in the loud mouths. As soon as it get real, they turn. You see what I'm saying? I'm not. It ain't. If that's how you are, that's how you are. You see what I'm saying?
So has Trump turned, or what makes you think that Trump is like that? Out of curiosity.
It ain't nothing he doing. I'm just saying when I'm seeing this with Tim Poole, this is letting me know that it's a lot more of them out there, and a lot of people running around here listening to a lot of these people, and they talking all this stuff. But when it's all said and done, they can't even defend their own self. So what good can you be for me? You know, and that's it or whatnot. I
respect him. I think he's a positive for the country, and I'm not looking for him to be any good to me. You know, I just think that he is putting the truth as he sees it out there, and I appreciate him for that. So that's what I see.
I mean, that's true enough, cool. I respect for that or whatnot, but when you start letting fear come into your whatnot, which is against the Bible or whatnot, then that tends to mess your judgment up. And it tends to mess up some of the things that you might say because you got that fear in your heart.
Definitely.
So I just don't, you know, a lot of stuff come with that fear. You know what I mean?
I'm
Everybody
with you on
swear.
that.
A lot of people swear that they Christians and stuff or whatnot, and they ain't. Because if you was, he wouldn't even be thinking of even worried about even losing his life. Because he put everything in Father God's hand, and Father God would make sure that he kept him covered. But nah, he's definitely compromised. That fear in him has compromised him. You can't be running around here scared like that, man.
Yeah.
Alpha up. God bless you. I'll catch you later, Brody.
Thank you, Art. Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Already. Yep.
Bye. Interesting points. Let me get to Pete in Alaska over here. Pete, thanks for holding, sir. What's up?
No problem. How are you this morning?
Doing fine.
Yeah, you'd mentioned the N-word a little earlier and how folks ought not use that word, right?
Not really. That's not the point of me saying the N-word. But yeah,
well,
they say
yeah.
that was a side point that, you just don't try to provoke a guy who's about to hit you.
Yeah, well, I'm so against it. I got a big old sign out my front yard that says, no N-words allowed.
Nice. Really?
No.
No? Nice. That's really funny.
Yeah, that's stolen humor anyway. But I did find out the other day, I was playing some basketball with my friend the other day, and I asked him how the heck he jumped so high, right?
Yes.
And my other buddy pipes in and he says, because they're Negroes.
They do have those long legs and short torsos.
Yeah, funny.
That's funny.
So, more serious note, did you see the upgrade that Trump gave the Oval Office?
No. I didn't see anything like that. I know that he's working on the whatever wing, east wing.
Yeah, that's about to be going down too. But there's a short segment. I don't know where the video comes from, but there's a before and after on the Biden's Oval Office and then Trump's.
Wow.
And it's worth the look. You can probably look that up.
Oh.
It's pimping now.
It looks so much better with the layout of the portraits and things. The portraits look so much better. Look, that's ridiculous. I'm looking at
some of them were in the basement for 100+ years, I guess he said.
Those portraits were in the basement?
Some of them, yeah.
Wow.
But
so they finally put them to use. See, Trump improves things. When he tears down, he builds up better. Compared to these communists. He's like, if he's a communist at all, he's like the good kind who's capable and makes things actually beautiful. Whereas these evil communists, look how lame that looks. And yes, I love George Washington, honest Abe Lincoln. I suppose I love, even though I'm questioning the FDR. I don't know if that's James Madison or Thomas Jefferson, or I don't know who these guys are because I don't know my history. I'm a Philistine.
Well, if you don't love all, you don't love none.
That's right. And then they reorganized it. They got rid of FDR there. Nice. And that layout is so improved. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine.
He gilded the mantle, put gold and stuff like that. It's not just this lame-o wallpaper, all boring.
Yeah, it looked like a psychiatric office before.
Wow.
Some kind of waiting room, but
yeah.
He takes part. That's what I like about him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he shows true appreciation for America and its people and its history, which makes him white and beautiful. Our greatest president.
Right on.
Yeah. Thank you for the tip, man.
Yeah, have a wonderful day.
You too, and thank you for the jokes. Those were fun. I hadn't heard the Negro one spelled. I had heard
You
a
said it.
different
No.
knee growing joke, but that was fun.
Yeah, right on.
Thank you.
Stay young and beautiful. All
Thank
right,
you, man.
bye.
Bye. Right on. Look at this paintings in gold trim in the Oval Office on May 28th. Wow, who knew? This is from far left NBC News. Even NBC cannot deny it, the greatness. That's because this guy, Peter Nicholas, senior White House reporter, and Monica Alva, like Alva, who called into Hake, talking all Nazi womanish or whatever. I forget what she was talking about. Shout out. And Julie Sirkin contributed. Nice work, far left extremist NBC News, so-called. A beautiful ballroom and a new Lincoln bathroom. Trump relishes remaking the White House. In an interview with NBC News, the president discussed his renovation plans for the most famous house in America. I'm doing a lot of improvements, he said. Indeed, he is and has been. So don't be tripping and overreacting to the history being destroyed. That was from July 31st, 2025 AD. And so there's probably even more where that came from. This little news report. There's more where that came from. He has a 90,000 square foot ballroom, and I bet you it's not going to be all just big and cavernous and ugly. It's going to be gold and beautiful. Thank you to our greatest President Trump. And thank you, NBC, documenting the news. White House improvements. NBC News. Trump Oval Office makeover. So cool. So fun. If we mosey on over to Buy Me a Coffee and make sure that we're caught up here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Arty, Art, you got a shout out from, I saw this walking Roscoe. I'm glad I checked. Sometimes it's good to take a little bit of time, take your time, and double check things. S/O stands for shout out. Arty. Testifying, salute, spitting the truth. Right on, man. Yeah, he makes a great point about fear. And there's a lot of whites in Tim Pool. I don't know what Tim Pool is. He may have fear. He's definitely ticked at some of the people who are dividing or sowing division and rumors and gossip. And I understand it's not right that these females are gossiping and rumoring and why do women tend to get all into conspiracy theories? Is it because they have like too much time on their hands? I didn't know they got into conspiracy theories. I thought that they were just into soap operas. Because when I was a kid, I watched a Christian show. And the mother started getting into soap opera. Soap opera being a daytime TV show that's all dramatic and it goes on from episode to episode. It's always to be continued. Everybody, when I was a kid, we hated to be continued. To be continued when the A-Team or maybe, I feel like the A-Team did it sometimes, or Knight Rider or whatever, Mission Impossible, 90s TV show, okay, not the movie. Early 90s. When they would have it to be continued, it's like, man, gotta wait a whole night or maybe even a whole week, a whole nother day or a whole nother week to see what's next. Terrible. Or X-Files sometimes. Did they ever have that? To be continued. But that's what the women love. Evil women. Shout out. But they like conspiracy theorists. It's ridiculous. Theories. And so what does that say about all you guys who get into all your conspiracy theories too? You're basically a women, all getting into speculation and stuff. But But if we're women, if we're judging the women. So, Tim Pool, if you're watching Hake, don't be mad. Yeah, everything that you said was true, but don't be mad. You're right, but don't be mad about it. Shout out, hey. Oh, yeah, I do have another super chat. If we go over tier to buymeacoffee.com. Oh, yeah, sure enough. It's right there. I was looking right at it. Cesar says, sup, Hake? What's up? Cesar? I'm having a little bit of trouble here. Zoom in on this. I sent you a clip of Candy's dream evidence. Laughing face with tears coming out. 35-second clip. Candy being a conspiracy theorist, right? He's calling her Candy. Some call her something else. She black. In case you play it on air, make sure you play it on full screen so that you can hide the poster's info. Nice. Thanks, man. Our future president's performance in his latest interview went extremely well for him, I'd say. Yeah, right on. I like that, being unabashed and just be yourself. That's what Trump does. That's what our future president does. Our current and future presidents both do that. If the interviewer wasn't a joke before, well, he's definitely a goofball now. The dummy couldn't comprehend per capita stats. Dominican facepalm emoji. I also loved how the future Prez kept him in check every time Numb something wanted to interrupt. Okay, cool. You would very well enjoy the interview, but at least try to catch the clips. Till next time, strong Dominican arm emoji. Thank you, sir. Yeah, right on. Cool. I really appreciated the interview with Tucker. And it turns out, speaking of kind of having fear and having like a little bit of kiss-up beta-ness, it seems like my competitor, Tucker, does fall for that. It seems to. Because afterwards, he's like, anti-Semite. Calm down. Doesn't even make sense. Although he seemed to give hints that he did think that about him. What a boomer. Is Tucker boomer? He's got to be Gen X. He's not 60. Anyway. Thank you again, sir. Candy. And future Prez. Terry in Oregon is on the line over here. Terry, thank you for calling, miss, or ma'am, it is now.
It's ma'am.
You didn't sound manly enough saying, it's ma'am.
Yeah, I can't sound manly.
That was so funny. Right on.
Anyway, hi, yeah. You inspired me to call in about this local news story. I like to call in about my little local stories.
Yeah. We like to know what's happening in PDX.
Yeah, there was a stabbing that occurred earlier this year. A black guy stabbed a white guy. And he recently, I guess it went to a jury trial, and they found that because the victim of the stabbing had called the man the N-word after the stabbing occurred, that there was racial animus, and that basically the guy's gotten off for stabbing someone.
Is that real? I'm looking up.
It's real. It really happened. I was going to look for an article for it.
Yeah.
Maybe send it to you in I don't know, a super chat or something, or buy me a coffee link or something. But Yeah, when I first came across the story, I thought it had happened before. Like the guy called him the N-word and then he stabbed him. But
Right.
no, it happened afterwards. So like,
You
I
know,
thought it was
if a white man calls a black man an N-word, this is Hindustan Times. Finally, it shows it.
Hindustan.
Yeah, Hindustan Times is sometimes an interesting source. And their headline reads, "Who is Gary Edwards? Portland jury acquits black man of stabbing white man as victim said the N-word after the attack," just as you reported, according to your reporting, Mrs. Terry. Gary Edwards was cleared of assault charges, cleared of even assault for stabbing Gregory Howard Jr. So Gary Edwards, the black suspect, cleared of assault charges, according to Hindustan Times, if that's correct, you know, who knows, of Gregory Howard Jr., the white victim, stabbing victim, after it was revealed that the victim said the N-word following the attack. Is this a... Yeah, that's not a...
I saw like a picture of the like two people, the two men.
Yeah.
That it was taken from like a security camera, and the white guy looked like it was in an area that's kind of, you know, downtrodden. There's a lot of like homeless people on drugs that kind of congregate in that part of town.
Yeah.
And the white guy wasn't even wearing shoes.
Oh.
And so like he looked pretty downtrodden. So it was like, I don't know. It just seemed to me kind of like an intersectional train wreck.
Yeah. Both the perp, I'm calling him a perp, the alleged perp and the alleged suspect are both 43 years old. Gary Edwards, the black 43-year-old, I guess, who stabbed 43-year-old, according to you, white Gregory Howard Jr. on July 7th, was found not guilty of second-degree assault. And that was after it was revealed that the victim said the N-word following the attack. You know, what I started to say was, if a white man calls a black man the N-word, and the black man hits the white man over that, if you believe in hate crimes, that should be a hate crime, because the black man is hating the white man for the white man saying the N-word. Because a black man calling the black man the N-word, he wouldn't overreact. But a black man being called a N-word by a white man, he would overreact because he hates white people saying that word, because that's a brainwashing thing. But they don't, I mean, they should get rid of the hate crime term anyway, in my opinion.
Well, it's redundant because, you know, people don't commit crime out of love.
Yeah, that's right. It is. It's stupid. It's violating their freedom. It's giving an extra punishment for their freedom of speech.
That too, yeah. Obviously, like when people commit acts of violence against one another, it's a crime of hate.
Yeah.
So why do we need to have, they were racist? Well, what does it matter?
Okay, so Gary Edwards the suspect? Yeah, Gary Edwards, 43, a homeless man with a long rap sheet. And he claimed that he stabbed Gregory Howard Jr., the white man, in self-defense, and accused the victim of using a racial slur. Okay, he was acquitted on October 31st. His previous convictions were for attempted second-degree assault in 2021, sentenced to 3 years in prison for a different stabbing incident in a Portland light rail station. Wow, so watch out for these people. Stay away from people's bad sides if you can. Edward accused of fourth-degree assault over a fight with a store clerk. Case dismissed in June due to a lack of available public defenders. What in the world? So he couldn't get a lawyer from the public defenders, so his case was dismissed. That doesn't even make sense.
That's so frightening.
Yeah.
He stabbed a guy and he's out.
I know. So video from the transit cameras show Edwards, the suspect, right, approaching Howard Jr. from behind Armed with a fixed blade knife, Howard Jr. was sitting on a bench when he saw Edwards, jumped up and started pushing him. So the two briefly scuffled against a wall. So he approached him and they called it self-defense. I don't even get that. I get the self-defense claim with that jogger because the joggers went for the guy's gun and the guy, they were trying to stop him and he came to them. But that's crazy. What a mess. They scuffled up against the wall before Edwards stabbed Howard in the shoulder. Ooh. Well, glad that he didn't get him in a fatal place. But that's insane. Like you said, that's frightening. That's evil. That Portland is so dysfunctional that they're being forced to let out alleged criminals who allegedly... What was the case over? Was it over a stabbing incident? No, it was a fight with a store clerk. Case dismissed. Who knows? But imagine you're a store clerk and you get to the point where you're almost in a fight with a customer. That's got to be partly, at least, the customer's fault. Because a store clerk usually is not going to pick a fight with a customer unless there's a problem customer. That's crazy.
Hey, speaking of which, have you covered the new Karen, the new Cinnabon Karen?
No, I haven't heard about it.
You haven't heard about Cinnabon Karen? Oh yeah, we got a new white queen that proudly proclaimed the N-word. She also told the couple to suck it.
Whoa. That is so. She must be our age. Like she grew up around.
I think so.
Pro wrestling times.
Isn't that I remember everybody was doing that in middle school.
Yeah, I was in high school, and we would do like the X thing. Well, I didn't do it, but I was a good kid. But
yeah, I didn't do that because I was a female.
Right.
But yeah, she did that. She did that at them. I was like, whoa.
So she was fired.
Yeah, she got fired, but she also has had a bunch of money raised for her. So
in Georgia. Oh wait, Cinnabon worker fired from a Wisconsin store. So the Georgia-based cinnamon roll chain confirmed her firing and condemned her outburst in a social media statement. Cinnabon immediately terminated by the franchise owner over the viral video. The company called it disturbing. Lord. So what happened in Wisconsin? Were they black customers at least?
Yeah, apparently they were Somalis.
Oh, really?
I don't know really what happened. The rumors that I've seen going around online were that they told her they complained about how much caramel she put on their buns, and then they told her that she was sexualizing herself because she wasn't in a hijab.
Oh my gosh.
And then it started to escalate from there, and then they whipped out the camera when she was like escalated. And this woman looks like a crazy person anyway.
Wow. So, the woman, which woman looks crazy?
The Cinnabon lady.
Oh.
She just got that look in her eyes, that like you wouldn't want to mess with her.
Yeah, like
you could do anything.
Like a wild-eyed.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Spirited, maybe you could say nicely.
That is so funny. Terrible.
Yeah.
What a mess. And what's funny is like we all get in trouble for something that she did, and she told the couple, "I am racist," according to the video. Because people are sick of this phony racism attack. Because the people crying the racism are every bit as racist. You know what I mean?
Indeed, yeah. Especially if the rumors are true that they were like harassing her about her not having her hair covered. I don't know how I would react in that situation. I probably wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Unless they whipped out the camera and I was like, here's my moment. I'm going to get my N-word money.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's worth it because your life gets uprooted and then, everybody knows who you are and then you have to probably move. And
you know what's funny too, Terry, is that people get all up in arms about words. Liberals, communists, if you will, get all up in arms about words when... like about our future president has said a bunch of words, right? And they ignore...
Not going to be the president.
You don't think so?
No. Milo
Would you
said
vote
he's
for him?
got a gay tape for him, so it's over for him if that comes out next year.
Oh, no, it's not over. Nobody cares. He is unstoppable, Terry. I'm calling it. Would you
Okay.
vote for him?
No.
Oh, really? Well, down the road, you probably would.
I mean, I guess it would depend on the situation, but
Yeah.
like, not my first choice, not my candidate.
Okay.
Definitely, like in the the race, the Republican race would not be my first choice,
Okay.
or second, or third,
Fair enough.
probably.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But the point is that he's only said words,
Hmm.
and largely they've been in kind of good-natured, sometimes maybe angry, I don't know. But meanwhile, there's just outright hatred, more beyond words, and malice and corruption in the government level, and targeting and violence from the liberals. But the liberals don't care about that because they don't actually care about right and wrong. They care about their agenda and their ego. And that's so human nature. That's so communist, which is human nature,
Yeah.
is to pick your side and don't care about right and wrong. There's no God who is above all men and women saying, stay right. Don't be, the evil is in you. Don't be provoked by evil.
Hmm.
But they're provoked by evil, and they are evil. What a mess. All this
That's
drama
true.
over white people saying words.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's so weird to me that you could, well, I guess the other point I wanted to make about it real quick was
Yeah.
like, we've had all these liberal judges that have, been corrupt and like letting all these prisoners out, but it seems like, even a jury is susceptible to the same kind of nonsense. Like, they hear that this multiple times violent guy who is stabby,
Right.
got called the N-word after he got stabbed, and they feel like, oh well, we better let him off because he's a victim. It's very it's sad, I always feel like compelled to like judge the judges, but then I'm like, well, the average person isn't any better.
Right.
Like, this is like a random selection of peers. Like, I mean, I don't know though who these people's peers are because I don't feel like they're my peers.
Right. That is very concerning. It's not good for civilization to have such injustice allowed by, you're right, juries.
Yeah.
That's why I don't trust juries or grand juries or convictions or anything like against Trump, these prosecutions against Trump, the prosecution against Derek Chauvin, and the prosecution or even defense, We've seen too many trials that have been kind of a mockery. The boomers and Gen Xers know a lot about, the O.J. Simpson trial may have been like a real mockery rather than a true justice. A majority black female jury or something like that, if I remember right. I don't know.
I don't remember. I do not remember.
God forbid
people.
this Gary Edwards guy go out and really hurt somebody badly,
I mean, that's what it seems to be the trend now. Like,
yeah.
Like all these cases of these people getting attacked on subways or like trains and like, or just out random, like there was a Somali rapist that attacked a woman on a church and killed her, I guess, recently. All these people have like multiple priors.
Yeah.
And it's really sickening.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, anyway.
So be careful out there. Watch your back and,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, keep your wits about you.
Yeah, and,
The government's not on your side. The courts are not on your side. And
right. And be mindful.
And your peers are not.
Your peers are not on your side. Jeez. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for taking my call.
Great call. Thank you for the tips there, Terry.
Yeah. Later, Hake.
Bye. What a mess. We're looking at a picture of that attack. Gregory A. Howard, the white man, 43. These guys are like my age, roughly. A little younger. Covers his wounded shoulder after being stabbed by Gary O. Edwards in Portland's Old Town District, July 7th. And, I do see, like, kind of barefoot. Well, maybe he has one sock on. That's out by the street in December. Does it get warm in Portland at this time of year? Does it just get... I feel like I went after Christmas through New Year's and into January up in that area, Pacific Northwest, when you're just cold. Use of racist slur by wounded man in Portland's Old Town stabbing spurs the jury to acquit, according to the Oregonian. What a mess. Thank you. What did I just do? I'm not sure. It's okay. Thank you again, Terry, in Oregon. All right, so I'd like to get back to the calls here. Alex in California is on the line here. What's up, Alex?
Biggie Bear.
Hey.
What's cracking?
Just hanging out. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little podcast going.
Yeah. Interesting news being brought to me from the callers today.
You didn't hear? Yeah, I was kind of shocked you didn't hear about the Cinnabon thing. I'm not even plugged in, and I hear about all this stuff. It's kind of hard to avoid.
Yeah. If you're on social media much at all, or I don't know. Yeah.
And on the subject of the black stabbers, that's the. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. I sometimes want to screen record myself scrolling because it's just scroll after scroll. It's black stabbings, black beatings, black shootings.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, the volume of it. But yeah, it seems like the powers that be are letting these guys out. And obviously it's unfair and unjust, but I think there might be an ulterior motive to just wind up the whites.
Yeah.
Because how can you see that daily, like over and over every day, and not get resentful?
Yeah. You're looking for trouble.
Actually, the way that you put it yesterday, like the traumatic response, like responding to your trauma, I really like that.
Right.
And then the other day you said something that stuck with me. Life is not what happens to you.
Yeah.
Was that a Hakeism or is that a Jesse?
I'm not sure where I got it, but you know, when in the Bible Jesus said, "I came that they might have life." Life comes from inside of you and it informs how you live, of course, but it informs how you are and maybe even like how you feel and think.
Yeah, that one hit kind of hard because it's true. You know, it's not so much what happens to you; it's how you power through it. And I just think about all these women complaining about. I mean, I guess I don't have any. Obviously, an experience, or it's not. I don't know. It's not my position to say, I guess, but when girls get like SA'd or whatever, and then they act like they have to base their entire life around that for the rest of their lives. It's kind of nuts.
Right.
Like it's just one thing that happened to you. You got to shake it off eventually.
Very true. Totally. Yeah. I hate that. I hate that when I hear like on Oprah, the Oprah clip yesterday, these people who cut off their family, they go quote unquote no contact with the family. They say, "Oh, I will never get over this." That's so, like anybody even knows that. That's so evil.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just had a quick and I guess useless reaction to the NF Piers Morgan interview. I didn't catch the whole thing, but from what I caught, that was a pure cooking of Piers. That was pretty bad. What did you think of that overall?
I didn't get to see it, but I'm not surprised because Piers is really not very bright. And he's not actually even very fair-minded. He is a little bit fair-minded when it comes to, like, women and men, the Me Too thing. But he is so, like, mostly miss and not hit. And the young man, our future president, NJF, is bright, he's sharp, he's quick-witted, and he's right. He just has the basic...
about it too. Like, he stopped Piers, but he didn't, like, do any name calling or anything. He was a gentleman about it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice. That is awesome. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've known about him for, when he first came out. I never really jumped on the train, but I mean, the more I hear everything that comes out of his mouth, I can't really argue with any of it, and it's like he's the only one saying it.
Yeah.
I think it's great that he's putting pressure on the Jays. I just
Me too.
was wondering how Hake feels about that, because that must be a little conflicting. But
well, I heard him just calmly call what's happening in Gaza a genocide. And it was the first time I've ever heard somebody just calmly call it a genocide rather than being like, "Oh, it's a genocide," all emotional over it. And I don't know I don't know if he's right or wrong about that. I agree with him mostly about the cultural influence and the just how they're all, it's undeniably in power and in power kind of against the white people. And it even ends up including the ones whom we oftentimes agree with conservatively, like Shapiro and them. They end up kind of becoming beside themselves. So he's right about most, or maybe even all, of what he's saying.
I mean, and it's not even about him, like, joking about, like, Mr. H being cool or anything. It's really true that people need to remove the attachment of emotions when it comes to talking about, like, historical events. Like, there's no reason for you or me or anyone else to get upset and emotional when talking about Mr. H or things that have happened in the past.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. It's a spell and it's a program that we're under.
Yeah.
And if you're not under it, it's, like, very obvious. So I don't know. I do hope that maybe he does become the next president or whatever, or maybe there's going to be more people like him that sprout out. I think there's definitely a lot of us out there that feel the same way he does. So
yeah,
we'll see how he does. And I don't know, for me personally, I think he's kind of taken the wind out of Trump's sails. Trump's pretty low energy. Like the other day, I forgot exactly what was going on, but he was just really low energy, kind of careless, and then just name calling. I'm like, this guy's just kind of done. He knows he's on his last term here, so I guess, I don't know, hopefully he's gonna quote unquote fix everything. I doubt it, but I don't know. I'm growing fond of Mr. Fuentes. So.
Nice. Yeah. He's a bright spot in our country. He's a credit to America.
Yeah, the only two things I wish he could do: number one, ditch the last name, maybe go by his first and middle name, and then he needs either a haircut like mine or like yours, nice clean white man haircut. I don't like his messy hair.
Okay. Yeah, I laughed because that's what Daniel said when Daniel was on American Anchor Baby, maybe a year ago, plus or minus. He said that he needs to change his last name because Fuentes is not
Anglo. Just go by
Anglo.
the first and the middle. If you go by the first and middle, it sounds real distinguished.
What's his middle? What does the J stand for?
I'm not even sure, but even if it's like James or John,
yeah.
You know,
hopefully it's not something like Juan or Jose.
Or Hito. Yeah, it's going to sound cooler than Fuentes, though.
That's true.
All right, hey, you have a good rest of your show.
Thank you, sir. Take care. Interesting. Jermaine in Canada on the line here. Jermaine, thanks for holding, sir. Good to hear from you.
Hello?
Hey.
Real quick.
All right.
Bluetooth.
Nice. Sounding better.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Nice. James 007, sharpshooter who never misses.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm calling you today. I won't mention the name unless you ask, but this famous singer, He makes millions. Apparently, I don't know if I've ever heard any of his song. I never looked up the song, but I was watching a podcast of him there talking about how, he married his first wife at 20, and his wife, before he met her, she told him that she had an abortion when she was in high school, which is kind of crazy. And she's a Christian church-going female, and so is the male himself.
Okay.
And then when they they did their thing. This is now when they're in college. They did their thing. He knocked her up, and because he knocked her up, back in those days,
meaning
they
got her
have to
pregnant. That's what that means.
Yeah, he got her pregnant.
Yeah.
And then, but it's crazy because she told him she got pregnant in high school. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But when you're in love and you can't see, right? So
Yes.
he knocked her up, and then his church, because they're church-going people, and they're shame, you can't have that. So he ended up marrying her.
Oh.
And he married her at 20, and then after that, he's 6 months after. Before the 6 months, they said they're gonna have an abortion, right? It didn't happen. So after 6 months after, he ended up signing his record deal, and then he's noticed that she was putting on weight. She didn't do the abortion. She kept the baby, and then after that, he had to get married because it's showing now, and the family shame, the traditional church thing. Man, he didn't have to marry her, but he married her. Skip now. They're on and off in their marriage. He ended up having 2 kids, 2 boys, and then they're on and off in the marriage, and then they broke up, and now he's married to another girl, another woman that has 2 kids. So he's a stepdad to 2 kids, and now his sons are in their 20s, and his wife suggests that he get his entire family together. So he offers to have his kids move in with him, and they're upcoming artists, and he wants to help them out, push their name out there, But in this case, he ended up setting his kids up because he set them up with this big idea in their head so that they're big artists, because he has a big following. So what he does, he bring them on stage and get them to have the experience, right? He didn't let them do it on their own so they understand the hardship, if there's such a thing called hardship, and how to build themselves. He set them up, and now they're living with him. He buy them cars and all this stuff, and they're smoking weed in his living room. They have girlfriends, and all of these friends of them come over and they're disrespecting him in his house. They don't talk to him. All this crazy stuff. So forward now, they're doing their own little gig thing, and they're trying to get their name out there, but it wasn't going fast enough for them or what they thought it would be. Even though it's grown, they have 50 people, 75, 200, but it's not the big audience that their father introduced them to.
Right.
And now, because of that, they quit. They're like, oh, we miss our girlfriend and want to stay home and be with them.
Oh, my God.
While he's on the road still touring. And it's such a mess, man, because he takes no responsibility, because when he broke up with his ex-wife, he didn't work on himself. He went and found another woman. Yeah, if I tell the story about how he found this woman, it's crazy. So he's doing a deal sign. He met this woman, and he's like, the moment I saw her, I'm like, she's the one. She's the one. And then a year after, they're trying to get to know each other, and he's always the one, visiting her in her area. And after 1 year passed, and then she started visiting him at his place. And then a year and some months after, they got married, and I'm like, this is so crazy. So and then his kid, one of his kids died. It's such a messed up story because he stopped helping his kids out. He was helping them out. He kicked them out, and then he started helping them again by renting them a place because they had nowhere to live. And then when he stopped helping them, they turned against him. So I can't tell the entire story, it would be too long, but I'm just giving you the gist of what happened in this interview. It's such a mess, man. It's crazy. I'm like, he set his kids up to fail because he introduced them to this big crowd, give them this idea and perception of what they should achieve, right?
Yeah.
Because he built everything off the ground.
Right.
so we know the ups and downs. Because in the first he's like, I have these heroes I need to live up to, but when he try to live up to them, he never get there. But he got there at some point in his life. Then he realized that's not making him happy. So then he said, oh, my battle is not with people outside of me or try to live up to these people. It's the battle I'm competing with the competition is with myself. It's just crazy. So he started competing with himself because he would drop an album, you go platinum or viral, and then he'll try to compete himself again to make it go even more viral. But sometimes it's a hit and miss, right?
Yeah.
So he's on that up and down roller coaster thing, and then that's not making him happy anymore because the thrill is kind of over. And then he went and find a woman that he said the woman bring him back to God, and I'm like, this is a mess, man.
Yeah.
And then he said, she was up here and I was down here, and to be with her, I had to be up here. And I'm like, what the? And then he mentioned as well, she taught him that his time or himself is worth more than the people he hang around with. And I'm like, this guy is crazy. This woman is literally turning this guy into a crazy guy. It's a mess, man.
That is interesting. That is the classic beta simp male nowadays.
Oh, man.
Everything wrong, and he is a talented person and is not necessary. Interesting, and I like hearing this story without being distracted by the name that I may or may not recognize. Thanks, man. Thank you for the story, Jermaine.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Now I have to know who it is, though. Who is this?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
It's Brian McKnight.
Okay. Brian McKnight. That sounds familiar.
I don't know if I ever heard any of his songs, actually, but yeah.
Yeah. He's black.
Yeah, he black.
American singer, songwriter, and record producer, 56 years old, born in Buffalo. Children Nico McKnight, Clyde McKnight, spouse Leilani Malia Mendoza, married in 2017. That was the Hispanic, I guess, or Filipino maybe, gal.
She looked Asian a little bit.
Oh, maybe she's Filipina. Yeah, Leilani, that's kind of like a Hawaiian maybe. Leilani Malia. Could be Indonesian, but Mendoza makes it sound Filipino because Filipinas have Spanish names, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you guys what I was looking at. Brian McKnight. This guy, poor guy.
you know, Anchor Babe will pull up the photo metric, right? The red lines. Every photo he's leaning into.
Oh, the green lines. Yeah. That's funny. Here, let me do that.
I'm like, it's maybe it's because he's taller than her, but I'm like, no, you can still stand straight, and she's the one all over you, but he's the one all over her.
Yeah. Oh, even this picture of him with this whatever gal that is, Leilani Mendoza. Oh no, you can just oh my gosh, he's leaning way into her. He has his head against her head. Oh, he doesn't know better. That's funny, man. Very interesting. I've heard the name before. I don't know. He seems like a very recognizable face he has, and name, actually. Well, thank you for the story, man. Good, great story. I appreciate that.
All right, no worries, Hake. Have a good show, rest of your show.
Thank you, man. Take care.
All right, cheers. Bye.
Bye. Wow. Okay, before I get back to your calls, I do see them. I appreciate them. I got to get to these super chats. There are a couple. Carver, big. When will Cinnabon Karen be a guest on the show? Asks Carver. I only have room for Bagel Queen, says Carver. Bagel Queen is a... And then Mr. Sandman, he says, fake news. Blacks don't do that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure when this one came in. I'm not sure if you're talking about, look, I hit a like and it goes from 3 to 4, 3 to 4. I don't know if he's talking about black stabbers, like what Alex in California said. Alex did make an interesting comment, by the way, about Trump seeming ill-humored and just kind of done, and Nick Fuentes taking the wind out of his sails. I don't know. I don't necessarily disagree. I saw where Trump said, "You aren't prepared. You're unprepared," to some woman, Alex, female reporter, who was asking him about 20, because they're trying to say, oh, the midterms, he's going to lose bad. And not he, but the people are going to lose bad. And I don't know. He's dealing with a lot, and he's getting up there in age. And I much respect and much appreciation for him and for our younger, more energetic, perhaps, future president. Black people don't do that, says Mr. Sandman. Good to hear from you, sir. Thank you for the support. Very nice. Bagel Queen only, no Cinnabon Karen here. And double check over on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. Shall I check that out? If I go over here, what did I just do? On X and peruse over it. Don't read my DMs, guys. Don't read them. Click on this one and see this. And this is the post from Apostate Prophet. Candace Owens says Charlie Kirk told her in a dream that he was betrayed and therefore not killed by Tyler Robinson, but by Tyler Robinson being the capable white man from Utah who caved and turned evil in his passion, allegedly for like a transgender roommate or something. A complete nut job. And so here's the post, if I can unmute it and not be a total boomer. Oh. Do I have it muted, or what's going on here? Let's see if I'm... Do I have it muted here? No. I might be having an issue with my audio. So I might not be able to play any music. Here, let's see if this is working. No. I don't need to check that. Here, let me play this. Yeah, I'm not hearing. Do I have something else going on? I don't see any audio even trying to feed into here. Wonder if I should... Multiple instances. Quit, reopen, open that again. Anyway, it's not too important. I only have a few moments left here on the Hake Report, but I do have at least one more call to get to here. Thank you guys for bearing with me. William 7 is on the line here. William 7, thank you for holding. You're live.
You're welcome, Hake. How are you doing? And how is JLP land?
I'm doing A-OK, sir. And JLP Excellent. Land, we're doing fine.
Right. So, hey, I wanted to comment. I was kind of listening in. TERRI was she just made a comment about even jury members dropping charges. The jury members can't drop charges. The only way a charge
acquitted.
Will get dropped,
acquitted, cleared.
Yeah, that would be acquittal.
Yeah.
But the only reason why charges will get dropped if the DA represents the prosecutor, and we're also depending on what level, whether it's local government, town, state, federal. Obviously, as we climb up higher, the stakes are higher. So before they bring up charges, they're going to make sure they're going to stick in that, no needle out of them, and nor they plead it, which is what happens most of the time. So most cases don't even go to trial because there are so many lawyers, only so many hours in a day. And so I was on a attempted murder trial in my hometown a few years back, and was actually the jury won because no one raised their hand.
Are you on is there any chance that you could get on regular phone? It's really there's a lot of racket. Or if you can close your window or something.
Oh yes, is it getting better now? Because I'm going over.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Hake. I'm a working man.
I understand. I was good, and I understood that, and I was going to try to bear with it, but I just wanted to make sure we can understand you.
Well, I appreciate your patience, Hake. I really do.
Yeah.
So basically, it was quite an experience that, they tell you as a juror what you can take into an account and what you can and what you cannot. So they kind of tell you how you're going to judge someone, which I think is kind of crazy. And I would have never known that had I not been on a jury trial.
Yeah.
So, you know how a lot of times you get called for jury duty and you sit there, and you listen to people complain all around you that I got better things to do. Yet, if she was on the other foot and you were being tried for something, especially if you're innocent, would you want people there who cares about what's going on and not, upset because they got pulled out of their everyday routine? So anyways, that was quite an experience.
Yeah, whenever I get jury duty, although I don't I like to be at work, right? But when I do it, it's so fun, and I want to be on the jury, and I never get on.
Right. I know that. So just so you know, they don't want people who think for themselves on a jury.
Yeah.
I can assure you that. And so the other thing I wanted to talk about, because it kind of segued into that, about that stabbing. Earlier in JLP, some guy called me at a thing at a gym, and me and the kid had a thing at the gym. Some guy got all crazy, and I'm like, I'm a veteran myself, 60 years old, and this guy wasn't answering the kid who was asking if he could get done with his equipment, and he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't present.
Yeah.
So I tap him on the shoulder, and he takes his headphones off, looking at me like he's pissed off and wants to fight me. I'm like, hey, the kid was asking, are you going to be done soon? And he goes, what? And I'm like, yeah, we're just wondering. He was been trying to get your attention. So he goes, no. He goes, I got 2 more sets. I'm like, all right, fine. And he wasn't even working out. He was sitting there watching this girl. And I don't know if he was a trainer, or his wife. I don't know.
Wow.
So then I continue working out, and I'm like, whatever. And then 5 minutes later, he comes up to me while I'm doing my set. I'm doing my exercise. He comes and taps me on the shoulder and goes, listen, he goes, I'm a veteran, and I'm like, me too. Thank you for your service. And he's like, that has nothing to do with what I'm about ready to tell you. He's just like, he tells you that he's got PTSD and he doesn't like being poked or tapped. And I'm like, okay. He goes, you got a problem with that? They got all like wild, crazy-eyed anger at me. And I was like, what? And he goes, you got a problem with that? And I'm like, it sounds like it's your problem. I'm like, why are you asking me? And so he didn't like that. So it kind of, and then he bowed up on me, and then somebody who I knew in the community recognized he was trying to get, he was trying to get an altercation. So he steps in and says, no, he understands that he gets it. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's not my problem. I'm like, the kids are trying to ask him a question, and he wants to be an asshole.
Right.
And so, so it got settled down, and he walked away, and I was like, I've been thinking about it, and it's funny that just happened a week ago. And
people are angry, man. You gotta watch out. And those veterans, they're giving that excuse of PTSD, so they're like make everybody else cater and bend to them. And I understand not wanting to be touched. I totally get that. It can be irritating.
Yeah, I get it,
but you got to also pay attention to what's going on around you and have some understanding and work with people. Sometimes you don't get what you like. I got to run,
man.
Man.
In a public place. Yeah. No worries. All right, well, peace out there, man.
Great, interesting story, though. Take care, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, life is interesting. God bless.
All right. Thank you, guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Unfortunately, I can't play anything cool audio-wise because of this issue. So take care, guys. No American anchor baby, all right? No anchor baby today. I looked it up, and it's not even scheduled, okay? So wish him well. Pray for the anchor baby. Take care, y'all. And any remaining super chats, I will try to get to you guys another time. And thank you, Cesar, for the tip. I'm sorry I couldn't play your thing. And I'm going a whole minute over. But hey, at least you get to look at this beautiful stuff. All right, guys. Take care, y'all. And see you tomorrow, hopefully. If it be the Lord's will. Adios, America. Bye.